What's going on, everyone? Chris from Pickdawgz.com. We're going to be taking an early look at some of the college football action for Week 5 going down this weekend. Obviously, we're going to have our full-on game previews. We're going to talk about the games later on in the week, but we're going to start a new video series, so just take a look at some of the marquee matchups that a lot of people are talking about, a lot that have some of the earlier action on the board, and just give you guys an early look, just give you my early thoughts on the early line, and sort of just see where these teams are coming out of the weekend. First matchup that I'm going to look, or the matchup we're going to look at here, I should say, is this matchup between Clemson and Syracuse, going off 12 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. Clemson coming in 2-2 this year, 0-1 on the road, both straight up and against the spread, obviously. Syracuse at home in this one, 4-0, 3-0-1 against the spread on the year. At home, 3-0 straight up, 2-0-1 against the number. Now, Syracuse, a 6.5-point home dog in this thing, total set at 53. And you look at Syracuse and sort of what they've done so far this year. This is a Syracuse team that, I would say it's probably fair to say they haven't really been tested, and that Clemson's probably going to be, the toughest test they've had. You play the likes of FCS Colgate, you beat them 65-0. You beat up on Western Michigan 48-7, who might be the worst team in the MAC. And then you go on the road, you take down Purdue. Purdue team that I'm still kind of up in the air about this season. I haven't necessarily been impressed with Purdue, but I still think they could probably be a bowl team, maybe a 6-win team. And then you take on Army. Service Academy is never easy to deal with, and Syracuse came out with a 13-point win in that one, getting the push. Depending on where you got that line. I know the line was all over the place. I think it was up above 13 in a couple of places, below 13 in others. So Clemson, I think, is definitely going to be the toughest test that Syracuse has faced to this point. But again, Clemson also coming off of their second ACC loss already this season. 0-2 in conference play. They lost the season opener on the road at Duke. They lost at home against Florida State last time out. And, for me, the way I looked at Clemson was I was on Clemson that week 1 game against Duke, and it was just like everything that could have went wrong for Clemson in that game did. And I mean, there was just sort of no other way around it. And then, they beat up on Charleston Southern in the second half. But again, remember that Charleston Southern game? That game was close early on. So it's still tough for me to kind of, figure out what Clemson was there. They came out, they routed FAU, and they looked decent against Florida State in that game. They were up 3-0 early. They were up as much as 17-7 in the first half. Had a 24-17 lead in the 24-17 lead in the third quarter before FSU tied it, and then FSU won the game in overtime there. For me, where I'm sort of standing early on, and again, these picks may change throughout the week, but I'm having a hard time laying 6.5 with Clemson on the road here. I get why they are where they are, but I'm just not there with Cade Klubnik. I don't think Syracuse's offense, the way that the Syracuse team likes to run their offense kind of runs into what Clemson's defense does very well, and that is stopping the run. But Garrett Schrader's a solid quarterback, and I just think that Cade Klubnik may just play Syracuse into this game. You look head to head, it's been pretty much all Syracuse the last few seasons, but the last 2 meetings have been decided by a combined 9 points. Syracuse has covered 3 straight, 5 of 6, and 7 of 9 in the last 7 of the last 9 meetings. But again, another thing to consider, all those games had Clemson as a double-digit favorite. So for right now, my early lean is towards Syracuse with the points in this one. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. If you're looking for my best bets, you can find us at Pickdawgz.com. Click on the Premium Picks tab at the top of the page. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It really helps us out. And we will see you guys soon with more free picks.